Hey everyone. I'm super excited to finally be back on the stream. It has been a while. We have been working on sagas for several months now, and it is progressing rapidly. I've been learning a lot about, talking to different game designers for other tabletop role-playing games, and apparently it's supposed to take longer than a couple months. But so we're actually moving along very, very quickly, which I'm happy with. I'm still very, very excited for where we are right now, design-wise. Every day we get closer to releasing the beta test for those of you on the email list to try out for yourselves. If you're not on that email list, though, by the way, link in the description. It's a real quick sign-up. I send out weekly updates and the occasional free wallpaper for your desktop or phone. Just some photos I took myself and, edited for your viewing pleasure. So today we will be, as you can tell by, looking at the screen, writing an adventure for Sagas. So the artist that I've hired to do work for Sagas, this music's a little intense. There we go. That's a little better. The artist that I've hired to work with me on Sagas is Rook Zero, whose thing I will post in the chat right now. Go check out his stuff. He's amazing. Once or twice a week, he takes viewer suggestions and puts up stuff like this just on he draws it live and just chats about whatever, usually pretty nerdy stuff. So I love having him on in the background. He's been great to work with. He's almost entirely done with the 3 characters we're putting on the cover art. Those of you that have been on the emailing list already know about one of them, Lucinda Ortiz, or Captain Ortiz, in a fantasy urban setting where she is the chief of a fire department in Kansas City, New York. No, Kansas City, Texas. That's right. And she has this, she's descended from a line of tattoo artists who imbue magic into their ink. So she has these really cool wave tattoos all across her body that allow her to control water, which really helps, being a firefighter. The art is amazing. If you haven't seen it yet, I will be releasing it to public when it's all done, when I have a cover completely finished for it. It's fantastic. So thanks, Rook, for working with me on this. I love your work. And we're going to look at more of it right now. See, this guy is one of the characters that Rook drew live a while ago. And we will be using him in this adventure that we're building. This one piece of art is going to be the basis for our entire adventure. I cheated a little bit. I've done some work on this already. We are working through how to create an adventure. I think I would like this to be maybe 2, 3, 4 episodes or sessions long. That's kind of, I don't really like one-shots because I can never finish them in time and, have the story tie itself up nicely in just, a couple hours of playing. And I want to, this adventure, if I haven't decided if it's going to be free or if it's going to be a stretch goal when we're crowdfunding on Kickstarter, but this adventure will come out with Sagas at some point. This is also definitely going to be, a free adventure. I'm doing this for fun. This is not to supplement my income. I'm doing this because I have a blast working with these people, and, designing this game and writing this adventure. So, looking at this guy, I took a little bit of a glance at him. And it looks like, I don't know why, but I'm getting very, very aquatic vibes from him. So I'm looking at this, his helmet over here. It's got sort of it looks like it's just a flat mask filled with bubbles. I don't know if this is an eye, but I'm going to assume that that central piece right there is not an eye. I think it's more interesting if it's just bubbles constantly going on the inside of his head. And the reason I think that's okay is because he looks to be maybe robotic in nature, given, or at least a cyborg, given the ripped off cables on his back between his shoulders. He looks like clearly built for fighting combat, has some sort of weapon in his hand. I also think his armor is just the slightest bit aquatic. You see those like almost teeth-like things coming around where his rib cage is. I think this is an excellent piece of art, and I'm excited to make this guy the boss. I think I want him to be the boss fight at the end of this adventure. But we have to figure out, you know, who or what is he? And what is the hook going to be? How is the party going to, you know, interact with him? So we're going to start off by saying, this guy, let's call him Water Cyborg. We'll think of a better name later. So, he is, I am imagining he's some sort of escaped experiment. This is judging by the broken cables on his back. I think that he isn't supposed to be out and about, and he totally is. So, escaped experiment. He could also be a normal guard. I saw the D&D movie yesterday with my fiance, and we were talking about this in the car. I was just talking to her about, you know, what we would be doing on stream today. And I think being on stream, sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm losing my mind already, and we've only been streaming for what? 5 minutes. You can tell I'm out of practice. So, we're going to take Mr. Water Cyborg, or Madam Water Cyborg, and say he is... I think one of the coolest things that my fiance and I came up with was he was a part of rank and file soldier. Or robot. Army kind of thing. And he was and he had a glitch that made him just better at his job, okay? Thinking sort of like Bad Batch in Star Wars, these 4 or 5 clones that have genetic malfunctions that make them particularly good at 1 or 2 things, instead of just being your normal, you know, average foot soldier. And so this guy has a glitch that makes him better at fighting in general. There's a couple, there's got to be something better. Like, what exactly is this glitch that makes him great at fighting? We're still working through, I'm the only one watching this. Oh well. I hope you, those of you that will be watching later, are going to enjoy this, because I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to have all of these ideas just blit onto the page. And maybe we can organize them later. We'll find out. Alright, so this guy, Water Cyborg, Aquaborg, I don't know, I hate that, but I want it to be one word. Aquaborg. So Aquaborg here is, he's an escaped experiment. He is a part of an army that has a glitch in him. So what kind of world is he in? So this world needs some sort of aquatic combat cyborgs or robots. Needs aquatic military. What sort of world would need that? We could make it a sci-fi campaign on a completely underwater world. That would be intense. I'm gonna say no for that though, just because then control water, the spell that is part of the game, or the sorcery or the power that you can have in sagas would be broken as all hell. It would be like being able to control water on an underwater planet would be insane. If you don't have that, you would be severely underpowered. And you can, the DM could just say, no, there's no controlling water. You can create it and you can freeze it and stuff. Or they could say, yes, this is a thing. And thinking about the real world implications of that. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's have it be on a completely underwater sci-fi adventure. So we've got this underwater city. That is, what would it look like, this underwater city? The only underwater cities that I can think of are the ones from Star Wars, like the Gungan city on Naboo for Episode 1, Phantom Menace, or there's other ones. Particularly thinking of Clone Wars, there's a couple episodes where they go fight battles completely underwater with one of the fish species that have an entirely underwater planet, and they have cool cities, and their public transportation is water tubes that shoot you places. Yeah, so let's make public transportation these water tubes. What else about this underwater city? What would be an interesting and cool hook, maybe? We don't have to tie this guy in yet. We will eventually. We will tie in Aquaborg here soon. Public transportation in tubes. Let's see. Public transportation in tubes. What else would this underwater city have? Would it be floating? I'm just starting to think of the game Subnautica. Terrifying game, by the way. Not supposed to be horror, it's supposed to be survival, but it's scary. Public transport in tubes. What else would there be in an underwater city? Make them floating and anchored to the ground. Ooh, if they're floating and anchored to the sea floor, maybe that's the bad guy's motive to destroy this. That bad guy's goal, to destroy the city by severing the anchors, and this thing floats to the surface, and that causes big problems. is trying to sever the anchors and cause the city to flow up to the surface. How is he going to do that? He's going to use this guy. I'm going to say this thing right here is a tool, not necessarily a mastermind. Could lead to some very interesting moral standoffs between the party, where one of them is going to say, hey, this guy is just a tool, he has his own personality, we shouldn't destroy him. And another person says, if we don't destroy him, the bad guy gets his way. And then the other person says, no, it's not Aquaborg's fault that he's doing this, we gotta find a different way to stop him. Classic moral quandary that might come up. It's not something that the DM or GM will be able to force, but having that opportunity there, I think, is good, because a lot of players, that especially the ones that really enjoy role-playing, and I think that's going to be a lot of people that are interested in sagas, because, you know, it's a story-oriented game. People that enjoy role-playing are going to enjoy these moral quandaries between characters that they're playing. So we'll leave this. Aquaborg is not the BBEG, just a tool. Okay. So what sort of... Oh, hey Hugo. Looks like my familiar it wants to leave. I will be back in several seconds. It is very cold here today. It is, 34 degrees Fahrenheit? So just above freezing, which is, you know, wild for middle of April, even for the Midwest. We had 80s last week, and we're gonna have 80s next week, but this weekend is just frigid. One last huzzah for winter. Okay, Aquaborg is not the BBEG, he's just a tool. So, what was Aquaborg a part of? We haven't really decided whether he's going to be an escaped experiment or if he's going to be a glitch. I think the pros for being an escaped experiment would be, this could make a good hook. Where the party is sort of there when it happens. They see Aquaborg get, escape from, you know, some underground facility and run off. Whereas the rank and file cyborg/robot army glitch makes him better at. Aquaborg has a glitch that makes him better at fighting. This doesn't have as obvious of a hook, at least not to me. So we could think of a couple here. Or if we could, that'd be great. Otherwise, I think we're just going to go with escaped experiment. So either way, it's going to be a sort of military thing. To create / manage Aquaborg. So, what sort of... what kind of military? Is military all the same across modern fantasy and sci-fi? I'm not really familiar with a whole lot of sci-fi military except for Star Wars, to be honest. Oh, I guess Star Trek is also technically military, aren't they? Okay, so I have enough to start working on it, but is it going to be sort of a galactic empire where it's multiple planets, or is it going to be just the military of this one planet? Are they occupying, or are they originating on this water planet? Let's see. Military operation to create / manage Aquaborg is local and secret. Let's make it local. Hey, Dungeon Doctor, welcome in. Good to have you, man. Sci-fi, military, and 40k gets pretty diverse from your limited understanding. Could be a good primer to look at how those factions in the system vary. That's true. I have heard that 40k got some crazy different armies that you can use, and some wild lore but behind those armies. That is a rabbit hole that I have not yet had the time to dive down, just because I'm aware of how deep it is. Getting scared of heights looking down the 40k rabbit hole. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for inspiration there. For now, I think we will go with some sort of underwater... Oh, Steve's here too. Amazing. Hey guys. Sieges and guerrilla warfare. Why would that be best for aquatic military? What are you thinking? Just because of how things need to move through it? It's hard to get things to locations quickly. That could be possible. Definitely something we could build into the world. So that would also make sense. Oh, when fighting non-aquatic enemies. Yes, that I agree with. I think we're going to have this entire game, though, take place underwater. Why? Just 'cause. I mean, why not? I'm not aware of any other games that take place entirely underwater. Why don't we make one? Yes, that's true. The British Empire was big because they were on an island. It had crazy number of boats. That's putting it lightly, but you know. Yes, legendary British Navy. For sci-fi, though, is completely underwater. Let's make it not necessarily the military. So what if there's two different factions? There's, you know, I don't want to go full military versus terrorists, but it could be, you know, government versus rebels in general. Water battles would definitely feel, yeah, because 3 dimensions, you have to work in 3 dimensions, not just, you know, across flat ground. Could be. I don't have vehicles. That's going to be definitely has to be a supplement for sagas if it, you know, has enough gets enough traction. I will definitely be making a supplement with, you know, vehicle rules, maybe specifically underwater rules that you could work into this adventure. For now, though, movement is very simple. If it's difficult to go through from one combat zone to another, you can move one combat zone every round. And if it's difficult to get from one combat zone to an adjacent one, you have to roll a check for it. That's entirely up to the GM. So that system that we have in place for movement right now works underwater. Like, you just, you know, there's no difference between moving left and right, between moving up and down. The same rules apply. It could get difficult to, you know, keep track of things inside your head, and even harder to keep track of things on a map. You would need those tiers of minis up and down. Could get difficult. So I think because of that, we are going to have to keep the combat simple. We're not going to have several different factions all fighting at once. We could just make it all individual fights. Party versus individual enemy. Definitely not minions. Don't want to use minions and lots of weak enemies in this adventure, just because of keeping track of minions in a 3-dimensional space is much harder than a 2-dimensional space. Let's write that down, though. Let's see. More thinking along the lines of how their military may function in terms of strategy. That's true. I understand where you're coming from now. That makes sense. Their underwater combat prepared them for space. Absolutely. Just because... So their pilots are going to be experts, you know, right from the get-go. Just because of their... a species' three-dimensional thinking. Because of they living underwater in the first place. Elite squads of enemies and crazy sci-fi sea monsters. Yes, okay. Sci-fi sea monsters. Like, you know, Mass Effect Leviathans or something. I don't know. But there's a lot of options here. So this is the guy we're looking at. This is Art from Rook Zero, who is doing the art for Sagas. And this is one of the pieces that we'll be using. We are basing it entirely off of this guy. Like, everything that, this is the only inspiration right now, or the starting inspiration at least. I want this guy, who we've lovingly named, stupidly named, Aquaborg for now. He is going to be the boss fight. We started off by asking, what is he? And we're still between whether he's an escaped experiment or if he is part of a robot cyborg army that has and he has a glitch that makes him better at his job. So we're still trying to figure out how to tie him into the party. Right now, our immediate, let's see, where is it? Escaped experiment would leave a good hook because the party can witness the escape. That's true. Aquaborg is memorable, and, you know, it might stick because I've already said it like 10 times on stream, so I might regret that, but we'll see. So, escaped experiment would have a good hook because the party can witness the escape. It's super straightforward and simple. Don't really have a hook for him being a rank and file robot that has, you know, yes, Waterborg with a G. But yeah, we don't know if he's going to be... If he is a rank and file soldier, I don't really have a good hook yet. If this is the case, either way, there's going to be military operation to keep slash manage Aquaborg, keep him secret. Let's see. Aquaborg doesn't have a driving motivation. That's sort of the mystery right now. Conflicting interest would be between the two parties. So the military versus the rebels who got their hands on Aquaborg. And maybe the big twist in the end is that Aquaborg is his own person. Talk about it like an it and a tool up until, you know, the last session where you realize, oh god, this isn't just a tool, he has opinions. Hold that because it's important. Let's see. Oh, Hugo's back. My cat is back and here to chill. Maybe. He's probably going to want to leave in like 2 seconds. Aquaborg's motivation will depend on the experiment. That's true. let's keep it as an experiment. Let's make him an experiment. Well, set that in stone right now. So he is an escaped experiment. And it makes sense. I mean, look at it. He clearly escaped. Look at the severed cords coming out of his back. I mean, it just ties in so well with the art that we are using for this. Did they make him a killing machine? Did they grant sentience to something weird? Are they Gestalt cyber squid colony? I think I could go simple. I mean, the original twist I had, you know, is just like, oh, he's not a robot. He's an actual AI with intelligence and is AI people. But that theme has been done to death. You know, it's been done so many times by so many people. I want it to be something other than AI. So we could give him, say he's a consciousness of someone, sort of like RoboCop, you know, consciousness of a person put into a body. Let's see. A lot of parties may have the instinct to, yes, yeah, they do tend to make someone, they do tend to make someone sentient, like they want someone to be. What do you want? You want to leave now, do you? Well, you're gonna have to wait. Maybe if you decide to hop up on your bed behind me and get some screen time, that could be fun. So, enough about Hugo. More about AB here. So, he is... What is he exactly? I mean, it's going to be a slowly revealed thing, like bit by bit in each of these 3 or 4 sessions that the adventure will be. We could make him a AI. We could make him a group of people, a lot of people. We could make him a family of people, all living inside the same body now. Why would they do that? What kind of family would it be? Or it could be, you know, the top 5 military generals that were, you know, got couped or something. They were saved. Their consciousnesses were backed up and put into this body. I do like the group of people. But I think a small group of people would be more interesting. That might be too complicated, though. You know, I want it to be easy enough for the average player to be able to follow, and the average DM or GM to be able to explain well. I don't know, group of people still sounds cool, though. Military were working on a way to consolidate multiple warriors into super soldiers. Okay, that I can understand. That is a good idea. And Hugo is fickle. Get my blanket back on because it's super cold in here right now. Recycling used soldiers experience. So this guy is actually a whole bunch of dead soldiers put into one body. Brilliant. Okay. Recycling their experience, putting them to good use. The squad is all injured and busted up. Chuck them in an Aquamech. Cool. And this is the prototype. Aquaborg is the prototype. Brilliant. I like it. So that's why he's well put together. That's why he's so good at what he does. The experiment didn't go well because, you know, they don't want to, you know, be cooped up. They want to escape, and they 100% have the means to do so. Yes, Aquaborg sensitivity consulting. Could have PTSD themes. Let's make that minor. We're gonna touch on it, but we won't make it a whole theme. The party won't be interacting with Aquaborg for a while. So they're gonna be interacting with him towards the end of the adventure. Let's see. Needs aquatic military. This is the world. Plot. So Aquaborg escapes. Military hires the party to track him down. What else? Mention his sister and being an only child, and his dead uncle, and his living uncles, and growing up in the city on a farm. Yes, that would be that would be a good little tie-in to hint that it's not just one person in there. So AB mentions conflicting details and memories. Military hires the party to track him down. Hires outside help because secrets. And can kill the party after. Cool. Let's see. What else can we get going on? Outside help because the party has secrets. Okay. Then, a party comes upon the aftermath of a battle. And what sort of battle would this be? Now we have to actually get into the head of all of the people inside this guy. Attacked the homes of the soldiers' families. Maybe not attacked them. Kidnapped the soldiers' families. That could be interesting. So if you kidnap the soldiers' families, it's going to be clear that he's not right in the head. And he's dangerous. And this would be the first hint for the people to put together that it's more than one person. Families all had soldiers in the same squad. Let's see. Yes, kidnapped or rescued. It is perspective. Now, why would Aquaborg kidnap its families? That I'm not so sure of. Like, what giant problem is there in the city? Do they know that the city is going to be sacrificed? I do have this little detail in the world here that the city itself is a bunch of things that float but are anchored to the sea floor. And something is trying to sever the anchors and cause the cities to float up to the surface. Maybe Aquaborg knows that's coming, thinks that it can't help, or yeah, no longer trust their leaders, stuff like that. But that's kind of, I want something actionable. It's definitely no longer trust their leaders, but I don't think most people would go as far as to, I don't trust my boss, so I'm going to kidnap my family. I mean, that's kind of a big jump. But if it's, I don't trust my boss, I think my boss is going to destroy the city, I need to get my family out of the city, that is an understandable progression. We're going to make Aquaborg seem like an object at first and become more and more person-like as it goes down the road. So it's trying to sever the anchors and cause the city to float up to the surface. And this is a secret that the squad discovered? Huh. How does Aquaborg know this? Let's see if there's any hints in the art for us. Maybe Aquaborg has limited psychic capabilities? Maybe. What else? There could be... Aha! All of them had different pieces. That makes sense. I really like that. All the different pieces of the puzzle and put it together once joined. This is how AB discovered the city destroying plot. I think that is sufficiently precise enough. It doesn't need to be, like, even having it this vague is okay, because diving into what each piece of the puzzle was would not really add anything to the adventure for the players. Like, if you were writing a novel, yes, 100%, but this is going to be a TTRPG plot line. So the only things that your readers are going to care about, in this case players are going to care about, are things that are directly related to what their actions are, not necessarily related to the Aquaborg's backstory. Unless maybe you could do like a readout when the party finally has a conversation with Aquaborg. Not sure kidnapping is a good first plot point. Okay. I think it should start with a show of its capabilities as a killing machine, but need to present it as a mindless killer in first instance. Yes, I agree. That is why the first instance isn't the kidnapping. The first instance is the hook. The escaped experiment. They are going to see this thing, you know, crash through a window, and just like, you know, you see blood rushing into the water out of the room this thing came out of, and as it runs away, it's going to take its spear and just slice, like, skewer 3 or 4 people onto it before, you know, swimming away at blinding speeds faster than the party can, you know, interact with it. Perhaps it even injures one of the party members, maybe kills one of the party members. I don't know. I'm always a big fan of, you know, starting off with an early player character death. So people, like, the stakes are always high when it starts with that. So I have one player make 2 characters and, you know, work with them in the beginning. Say one of your characters might die pretty early on. I don't know if it'll happen or not. You know it'll happen. And then have that be the first experience with the big bad, or not really big bad in this case, but, you know. Right, so the plot is AB escapes. Violent. Big body count. Kidnapping needs to happen later. Okay, we could do that. Then what's going to happen between the escaping and the... what is AB going to do between escaping and kidnapping? Could just be like a... one military squad finds out that it's stronger than expected, and the military squad is slaughtered, and the party comes upon the aftermath of that. Okay, destroying military property. Perfect. Exactly. Along the lines I was thinking, but better because it has a target instead of just wandering around and the military comes to it. It goes to the military is better. So, military, AB escapes. Violent. Big body count. Military hires the party to track him down. What the party doesn't know is that they hire because only outside help will be okay, and then they can kill the party afterwards without, you know, worrying about it. Let's see. Destroys the lab in the escape. Let's see. Maybe attacks military outpost. But what kind of military outpost? Let's do numbers for this. Okay. AB escapes, violent, big body count, destroys the lab. Military hires the party. Then AB attacks a military outpost. What kind of exactly. So because they're breaking the anchors and AB wants to prevent this, they are going to take out all of the welding. Or, yeah, so anything that can cut through the metal that the anchors are made out of. Containing welding equipment to save the and prevent the anchors from being cut. That makes sense. Anchors made of special metal, and the equipment used for destroying this special metal is the only thing that's really destroyed. That would start to help the players put it together. Like, why do you not want the metal that the anchors are made out of to be worked anymore? That doesn't, like, what? But that is a clue that won't make sense right away and will make sense later. As many of those as we can put in here as possible. Things that don't make sense yet is what I want to stockpile this with. Classic mystery writing. So they come upon the blah 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 blah. Water time. So they come upon the aftermath of the AB fight. We can delete that. AB kidnap S. the soldiers' families. Families all had soldiers in the same squad. Maybe not necessarily the same squad, because then putting the puzzles together wouldn't really work. All had soldiers, high-ranking soldiers. Reported MIA. Missing in action. Yeah, the "oh, of course" versus the "I knew it," or worse. What? I don't know. I really enjoy the "what" moments. I actually had one of those recently on stream, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was a good time. Go check out Mistress Winter's Court. I'm on a Pathfinder game where there's a game-breaking reveal every episode or every other episode. It's been amazing. Huge stuff. Anyway, this adventure. Aquaborg mentions conflicting details / memories. Actually, you know what? Since I mentioned it, I'm gonna put in a quick link for you so you can actually go find that moment in the facet. Here we go. Here's the channel. Mistress Winter's Court. We are live on Twitch, though, not YouTube. But here's the YouTube channel for you. YouTube might get angry if I put a Twitch link in there. Let's see. So, he kidnaps the soldiers. They kidnap. The Aquaborg kidnaps the soldiers' families. Families all had high-ranking soldiers reported MIA. Within the last month? 3 months. I don't know. But recently, MIA. Starting to indicate there is a connection between these. Why is Aquaborg going after the people that all have this one connection? This can't be number 5. Okay. After the kidnapping, what happens? This is sort of an investigation. What sort of combat would come with the kidnapping? I think just because this is one adventure, we'll cut the rebels plotline. This is just the military. No rebellion happening right now. This is just Aquaborg and the military and the party. Chase scene. Yes. So what sort of chase would it be? Would they come across the last one and see Aquaborg, and Aquaborg would be running with... Okay, because you know I love chase scenes. You might have even seen my chase scene video. I think chases are amazing. Would require AB to run away with kidnappers in a vehicle. Maybe not necessarily in a vehicle. Could be just, roped together and swimming on his own. This is a cyborg. He's fast. Or the party would... Ooh, how about this? At last kidnapping... Party catches AB in the act and chases it away without the family. Like, the family's fine. The family saw Aquaborg. The party showed up, and Aquaborg fled without the family. That way, we wouldn't have to put in vehicle rules for this. without the family. And party chases. AB gets away. He has to. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. AB leaves the note. Ooh. Yeah, chase scene underwater would be a ton of fun, especially through this city, this strange underwater civilization. Oh, I just thought of another sci-fi underwater thing. The new Black Panther movie. Duh. That one's cool. More Aztec-y. Super cool stuff. Could be more like that. Could be more stones that still float. And have, you know, these weird light sources because they're so deep in the ocean. Underwater city, public transport tubes. Deep, dark, strange light sources. Cool. Sure. If the party succeeds, maybe Aquaborg loses an arm. Nerf final stat block. And Aquaborg would not be the final boss battle, but they would feel like it. Let's see. Party catches up to Aquaborg. Another, like a third. So here's where we're cutting our scenes right now. Not our scenes. Our what do you call it? Not cutting our scenes, cutting our sessions. So first session, AB escapes, destroys lab, military hires the party. End session 1 here, or if you like cliffhangeries, end it with the explosion in the distance. Next session, start it with the explosion in the distance of AB attacking the military outpost containing the equipment for anchors. What sort of... Yeah, let's make this just let's make this simply as it is. No combat. It's just this place was destroyed. We can go find out what it was, start to piece things together. And in this we get reports of kidnappings during that investigation. I'm sorry, I'm thinking inside my head instead of out loud now. What if one of the people that worked here and survived the explosion is one of the family members of Aquaborg? So that was that person's little puzzle piece that they added, like, this is what the anchors are made out of. And this is how to destroy them. That would be the piece that individual inside Aquaborg brought to the party. So they talk to this guy, this guy's family. They get reports of, or they want to go talk to this guy, and they find out he's kidnapped. Survivor is at home. Party goes there, finds out they've been kidnapped. They learn that this is a string of kidnappings that has all taken place in one day. Cop at the scene. That would make sense. Aquaborg kidnaps the soldiers' families. They go to the last one. Yeah. Okay, I like where this is going. Let's see. Other encounters. Each encounter with Aquaborg contributes to the final fight. I think this is going to be the only real encounter with Aquaborg, this chase at the end, to nerf the final stat block, because after the chase, they encounter him. They have that final fight with AB. But after that, they talk to AB, and they find out, oh, it's actually the military that are the bad guys. I'm trying to figure out how to tie that into a real final battle. There's a second Aquaborg. One that agrees with the military. That is not injured. Aha! Helping with anchor cutting. So the party and what remains of Aquaborg, who's now an NPC, in a weakened state, swims down and helps out and fights Aquaborg too. Cool. Amazing. They destroy the second Aquaborg, save the world, or the city. Maybe in an epilogue you could find out maybe in an epilogue you could find out those responsible for the anchor cutting plan are punished. Yeah. This is good. This is good. It could be dark. It could be very dark. Or, you could make it, this is kind of like either way. Like, you could make this a kid's movie. Like, oh no, we're gonna go fight the bad guys at the bottom of the ocean to stop them from making the city float up. And it could be, like, never actually said that this is just to make the city float. Oh no. Instead of what if, what if they blend up the adventures, like in a blender? Now that's dark. Oh, you're talking about, I see what's going on in chat now. You guys are wild. I get it. I'm sorry, Steven. I thought you were making a reference. You're talking about the Fitzroy, Jenkins, O'Neill, and Fisher are the people inside Aquaborg. I understand. I think this means, because I didn't get that, I think we have our skeleton of an adventure, and now it is time to take a quick break. Been doing this for an hour. Need some water. Need to go rest my eyes and voice for a sec. So, I will be back in a short while. So, stick around. I'll be back in, I don't know, 5 minutes. See you in a sec. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Glad you stuck around. And we are going on to continue the adventure this is taking place in. Or maybe not necessarily the adventure. Maybe... let's have the final confrontation with him being a warehouse. I don't know. Could be fun to have a weird, warehouse filled with munitions to fight a multi-human cyborg. Wow. This is a wild adventure we've created. I think equally important to having this adventure, though, is the world that this adventure is taking place in. So, we need an aquatic military. We need... This is an underwater. Underwater world needs aquatic military. Underwater city. We need names for all of these things. Public transport in tubes? Question mark. I don't know if I like that still. Deep, dark, strange light sources. I'm imagining this because of the whole "Where's the Sun" thing in the second Black Panther movie. With that aesthetic, we could have some really weird descriptions of, could be creepy. Fun aesthetic would be basically an underwater water park. I'm still imagining like the Gungan cities and their liquid walls that keep out the water. Is definitely floating / anchored to the seafloor. We've got the big bad evil guy trying to sever the anchors and cause the city to float up to the surface. Yep, the squad. Okay, this isn't world anymore. This is other stuff. So, underwater world. What is it called? Aquastia. Aquastia? I don't know. It looks like Australia at a glance. Maybe that's a bad thing. What is water in other languages, though? Let's look that up quick. See how that's going. Water in other languages. Wateronto. Just Toronto, except wetter, Aqua, Mizu, Amene, Miru. I don't know. I've watched a lot of anime, and I'm thinking Mizu, which is water in Japanese, according to random website. Ooh, or in Albanian, Uji. UJI. Let's see. UJI. Autowater. The Autowater Empire. G and Arabic. Let's keep it Arabic. No, Albanian, sorry, not Arabic. Google Translate, come on. Uji Ushtarake. Which is basically water military, directly translated from Albanian. Maybe just Ushtarake. Yeah, I think I like that. Ushtarake is just such a cool word. Oh god. Not Equestria. We can't have that. Aquaterestria. Nope. Nope. I'm not going down this hole. Underwater world Ushtarake. Needs aquatic military. What are we gonna call them? What is the name of the military? Maybe it's sort of like Cyberpunk, where it is not necessarily the military, but a company. That would make more sense for its experiments. Military would be the SEALs. Oh my god. Just the SEALs. Art. All I can think of is other jokey names. This is rough. I wonder how many jokes Navy SEALs get. Because SEALs. Probably too many. So, the name of the world is literally military in Albanian. The swordfish. I do have a I do have a military in my own homebrew world for D&D that's just called the Wave, because the city that they originate from is half underwater. Ooh, the something fins, the knife fins, the gold fins instead of gold cloaks. Something about propellers, because this is sci-fi world, right? Something with a science-y name in it. So, the Gold Tide. Ooh, that. I do like that. I do like Tide. Very water-themed, cool sounding. Doesn't sound like a company, though. Like the Gold Tide Incorporated. The Iron Tide Incorporated. Maybe just Tide. No, because that's a real world company. I don't want Tide Pod references everywhere. Title Incorporated. I like it because it sounds like title, like the deed to a property. Sure. We're spending too much time on this anyway. Title Incorporated. It's sufficiently cool and punny. I like where this is going. Thanks, Steven. Alright, now the name of the city. Name of the city. Something about the anchors. Something... I'm thinking stalagmites for some reason. Stalag something. Stalag... Anchorage. God. Very, very, you two are just insane. Also, welcome in, Dragon M. Good to see you. Stalag... Stalanker? Sure. Stalanker. No, we can't spell anchor like that. Stalincore. Stalincore. Maybe put a hyphen in there for good measure. Yeah, or apostrophe. You're right. You're right. Cool. Public transport in tubes. Let's move this down to the aesthetic fun water park. Because there's two different aesthetics. There's the deep, dark, creepy, deep ocean aesthetic. There is, yes. Okay. So that's pretty much what we need. We might need like a bigger, like a better description. I don't know which aesthetic I want to go for first. I think I want to go for the fun one instead of the creepy dark one, because the other adventure that I'm considering writing is a horror adventure, like straight up, like a rural fantasy, rural modern fantasy adventure, set in like a trailer park with Cthulhu themes. That's the other adventure. This one should be more fun. So instead of having weird light sources, we just won't really talk about the light sources and just say it's close enough to the surface where you can see everything. Aesthetic fun. Underwater water park. So I'm imagining a city that's like looks like one of those puzzle balls, you know, that you have to roll the marble around on inside. So it's not necessarily a since it is fully underwater, maybe the individual buildings could be underwater, or we could have it inside one dome that keeps water out. Or, ooh, even better, it could be several domes. Okay. Yeah, so like the main central hub, the giant one with like the quote-unquote skyscrapers. Yeah, so basically an air park where people can go, yes, instead. An air park where people can, you know, they still float around, and there is anti-grav everywhere inside this place. So instead of swimming through water, you're swimming through air. Or it could just be something protective. So the dome keeps people out, and like, you know, the natural water out. The fish, the schools of fish that can swim by, huge schools of fish, or giant monsters that just swim by, will avoid these domes. Okay, yeah. Inside, clear balls hyphen domes. with defensive capabilities. Yeah, perfect. As far as writing that, I don't want to do that on stream. I work, as far as like good descriptive writing, I do that much better off stream. Here is where I get to generate ideas with you guys, and it's a, yeah. How am I just seeing this now, Dragon M? Yo, hope things are going swimmingly. I appreciate the pun. I really do. So this is what it looks like. It's like these several varying sizes. Clear ball domes of varying sizes. With defensive capabilities. Huge chains. Dang. Descend into the darkness below. Anchoring them like mines or balloons. I don't like that this app doesn't have an auto spell check. Oh well. Tidal Incorporated, keeping things afloat. Ooh. That's bad because they're the bad guys and their goal is to take this underwater city and float it. Okay. This is so bad. It's so punny. I'm gonna have to cut like 90% of this, you guys. But I love putting it in here, just to give me some laughs for later as well. No, we haven't covered the defensive capabilities at all yet. I don't know how much these are going to come into the adventure we've written already, which I'll summarize for you real quick in a sec, Dragon M. But yeah, we don't have any defensive capabilities. City defenses. It's sort of like, I'm thinking like an electric pulse for the larger stuff. For anti-leviathans or whatever we invent for down here. Mach 5 dartfish. Yes, 5 times the speed of sound is how fast they swim. I wonder what that would do to your ears. You would probably die if something moved at Mach 5 through the water past you. Just because it would compress all the air inside your body, breaking everything. Yikes. Anyway. Electric pulse for anti-leviathans. And javelins for invading armies. Javelin catapults. And lasers. Gotta have lasers, it's sci-fi, right? Oh, yeah, we made a Subnautica reference earlier as well. Ooh, so terrifying. The most scariest experience I ever had was I was in the Dune Sea and I saw the shadow of a Reaper in front of me and I just froze. And I heard the call and I never saw it. It was absolutely terrifying. what an anti-Leviathan would be. Probably this little tiny, actually probably just a virus, something that gets the creature sick. A whale show. Oh, yes, a Leviathan sighting. Look at those tentacles wave to us. Javelin and catapults and lasers for the city defenses. Okay, cool. Now, real quick for Dragon M, we're going to go over the plot we've got. So we're starting off with this piece of art. This is from Rook Zero, who is doing the art for Sagas. This is just something that he did in his Discord and Draw thing. I can repost his stuff here for you. Rook Zero's amazing. Working with him has been a blast. Once or twice a week, he goes on stream and just draws suggestions from chat or from a post he made earlier in the week. This is one of the things from that. He drew this live several months ago, I'm guessing. And this is our Aquaborg. So using that, we determined that this is what it's going to be. This adventure that's going to come free with Sagas, hopefully, if things all work out. So the first thing that happens is Aquaborg escapes. That is the hook to the adventure. The party is going by. They see this explosion in a building, and that piece of art swims out and starts just killing people, just randomly. And then after it kills, 10 people in quick succession, it swims away and just runs away from the scene. That is the hook. The party is going to interact with him a little bit there. Maybe he's going to attack one of the party members and almost kill them. And when they're there, the military, or I guess no longer the military, Tidal Incorporated. Tidal Incorporated hires the party to track down Aquaborg, the Aquaborg. Eventually, we don't really need this here. But yeah, they get hired. The next thing they find is Aquaborg attacks a military outpost that contains welding equipment to prevent the anchors of... Aquaborg's doing this because he discovered... I don't know. We'll go over the reason why later. But he attacks an outpost containing welding equipment for this special metal. There's no combat here with this scene, just an investigation of the bomb site or whatever. They find someone that didn't come into work today and wasn't killed in the explosion. They go to this person's home. When the party gets there, they find out that this person has been kidnapped, and there are also cops there that are aware of a string of kidnappings that has happened since this explosion in the beginning. So several people have been kidnapped since that moment. Not just people, but their families. Party looks into this. Maybe has some help from the cops or whoever's there. NPC possibility there. And then they kidnap this. They find out that it's several soldiers that the families of several soldiers have been kidnapped. Sorry, I'm tripping all over my words today. So when they find out that these families have been kidnapped, these families of these high-ranking soldiers that have been reported MIA within the last 3 months, they chase the last kidnapping. And they catch the Aquaborg in the act of kidnapping this last family, maybe like a father and daughter or something. The Aquaborg flees without the party, and the party chases. This could be a combat. This is going to be sort of like a chase sequence, like a skill challenge sort of thing. The Aquaborg gets away, or it gets caught by the party. If it's caught by the party, what happens is the Aquaborg has to sacrifice a limb to get away. So their final stat block in the end is going to be nerfed. Maybe like 1 fewer attacks or something big and rewarding. The final confrontation with this Aquaborg after the chase is in like a warehouse or something. They defeat him, and they start to figure out, and with the Aquaborg's help, they're going to put together these pieces. Turns out the Aquaborg is several people put, and their consciousnesses put into a single body. This person and these people have compiled all of their knowledge and uncovered a plot by Tidal Incorporated, their creator, to cut the things anchoring the city to the sea floor, causing them to float up and onto the surface. This is bad, and it needs to be stopped. They ally themselves with Aquaborg, maybe try to heal him or something a little bit. And they learn also through Aquaborg that a second Aquaborg is on the military side. This one has only a single consciousness in it, maybe. We haven't really decided that yet. AB2 BAS. AB2 single mind, question mark. And he's down with this anchor cutting. He is okay with, killing everyone in the city. He needs to be stopped. So the party, with the quarry that they've been chasing this whole time, swims down, stops Aquaborg 2, and puts the company Tidal Incorporated, the creators of Aquaborgs, into legal troubles, and that's like the epilogue. And that's the story. Right now, we're building the setting for that story. So this Ushtarake, is the name of the world. Advanced Quintuple Unit Anti-Imaging by... Aha! I love me a good acronym. Decompression sickness, or the inhabitants all breathe water. With the city going up to the surface, it is going to move around with the currents. That isn't necessarily, doesn't have to be made that clear. Maybe cutting the city and moving it to the surface is a good thing. That would be for the party to find out. But the city could, turn as it moves up, and everything would be, upside down when it hits the surface, and then rapidly spins back around, killing a bunch of people. I think the biggest issue would be the city moving around, because they would not have the resources for stuff like that, for living. They would no longer be part of the trade lines that are normal. It would upend the economy at the very least. But yes, Advanced Quintuple Unit Anti-Imaging Bathymetric Organic Reanimation Gear. I do like this. I don't know where you're getting anti-imaging or bathymetric. Everything else makes sense. I don't know if we'll put that in. That's too complicated. Aquaborg. Maybe we will. I don't know. Sagas is already an acronym. Maybe we'll just make that a thing. Every single adventure has to have a huge, long acronym in it. Oh, that's not anti. A mitigating. I cannot read words that I don't know. Ah, okay. I am learning 2 new words today. Amalgamating. I was reading that L as an I, and I was very confused. Maybe I need to just make this window bigger so I can read the things you guys are typing. Might be helpful. Yes, amalgamating, putting together, yeah. Yeah, no, that's brilliant, and I am copying and pasting that in now. Jeez, Steven, you're a genius. That's insane. Yeah, it might be a mistake. We'll find out when it's too late, I'm sure. So we've got this city pretty well planned out. We don't really have, you know... Let's make it a... Not a meritocracy. Oligarchy? Is that where merchants rule? Merchants rule the government. Cool. So this is basically the government that they're dealing with. Floating anchored to the sea floor. Yep, got that. No minion combats. Got that. This. Okay. Let's brainstorm. Sci-fi sea monsters. We could just add a generic Kraken. We could have that Star Wars thing that walks along the seafloor. There you go. Corporate Tortuga. Perfect. Brilliant. Titles plan. Just so I don't have to type it myself. You already did it for me, Steven. Da, 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 da. Nope, not bold. Paste. Cool. Alright. Sci-fi sea monsters. Kraken. Walking Leviathans. You had a couple suggestions earlier with that Mach 5. Neon Jellyfish. Electric Krakens. What else? Some random encounters for this adventure. I hate random encounters, but I do like monsters. I want to have people able to like throw things in just in case they want more combat. Obviously we'll need Aquaborg 1 and Aquaborg 2. Maybe not Walking Leviathan. Cyber Sharks. I mean, we could. I'll write it down. I'm not no use of them for Bathysphere Mimic. Now that I just understand what that word means, I get the joke. Electric Kraken and Neon Jellyfish could be part of the chase. AB1 and AB2. Yeah, Aquaborg's not the big bad. What else? There's not enough combat in here right now, I think. I need more fight scenes. Maybe Aquaborg can control a specific something, like these neon jellyfish, or a specific monster to cause them to attack this military outpost. Why don't we just make it sharks? Psychic piranha genes to do the experiment? Sure. So combat with sharks first. Sharks destroyed this equipment. Weird robo mind infection, yeah. And so Aquaborg can control sharks. I don't know if that's how you spell piranha. Piranha. All right. Let's see. Aquaborg 2 can also control sharks. When the sharks are controlled, do they look different? I don't know. Their black eyes turn red. Could make them dire sharks. So they just have spikes growing out of them, like their scales mutate into long spines instead. I like it. I actually like that. Maybe not psychic piranha genes then, just an excretion that it can put into their body when it harms them. So I'm thinking, right now I'm just imagining a cross between a great white shark and a porcupine. Very, it would still be hydrodynamic, but the quills would just, I don't know, they wouldn't be that useful because the sharks can only move forward. They don't have spikes going in all directions. All the spines would be pointing backwards. Unless they also mixed it with pufferfish genes. A great white shark pufferfish. Oh, we're getting crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one getting crazy. You two are fine. Let's see. All the same stuff, just new and undamaged. Let's definitely make AB1 die, though. No. I said porcupine, not hedgehog. They do not turn blue and go fast. Alright. AB1 can control sharks by mutating them into dire sharks with spines. Cool. So I don't know how to work the rest of these in. Oh, so we need dire sharks. For stat blocks to go with the adventure. AB1, AB2, dire sharks, and... No! We're not putting Sonic in here. I refuse. We'll make them faster if you want, but we're not going to make them blue. We'll make them purple or something. That's probably another Sonic reference that I don't understand. I never played the games. I never watched the shows. I just know that Sonic exists. I did see the movies, though, which were hilarious. Thank you, Jim Carrey. Actually, I haven't seen the second one yet. It was supposed to be his last movie, and I haven't seen it. Alright, bucket list. I know what I'm doing next weekend. Or maybe even tonight. I'm still trying to figure out a way to work in Electric Kraken and Neon Jellyfish. Neon Jellyfish could be part of the chase, sort of like a Finding Nemo situation. Parties, just a read out for parties. Entrance to city. Okay, we'll call that good. It's just one adventure. Having 4 new stat blocks, I think, is sufficient. A crackling electric kraken. We can put more onto this joke. We can lean into it harder. A crackling electric kraken. Crackhead. A crackling crackhead kraken. Oh, fuck. Can I write that down? I want to write that down. Ow. This is so dumb. Snap, crack, and pop. It's a fish flavored cereal. Snap, crack, and pop. Gross. Okay. I think this is... What else does an adventure need? I've never actually published one. It needs NPCs. What am I doing? We don't have any NPCs yet. Okay, NPCs. We need the cop that they talk to. The cop that they... Oh, yep, loot. Absolutely needs some magic items or something. Or science items. I don't know what you call them. Equipment. Cop at the kidnapping scene. Contact with Tidal Incorporated. What else? Totally not magic gear. Yep, exactly. I'm actually considering making magic and sci-fi stuff the same thing in Sagos. I think that would make everything a lot easier. So instead of having tech abilities and sorceries, you would just have powers, and they would be the same thing, because they're already built the same way anyway. And you could have something techie that allows you to, I don't know, control fire or throw a fireball. You could have something magic-y that allows you to shoot lasers. You know, you could mix and match those any way you want. So I think we're just gonna lump them all into powers and special equipment. Yeah. All right. Cop at the kidnapping scene. Contact with Tidal Incorporated. What other NPCs would we need for this adventure? I guess, AB1, Aquaborg himself. Oh, the families. I think that's good. I think that would be sufficient. Cool. Loot. What would they find in places? They would have loot for the explosion. Explosion in Dire Shark fight. What exploded? It was a factory filled with equipment for molding this special metal that the anchors are made out of. So there might be, I don't know, because like there would be a power hammer. You wouldn't be able to use swinging hammers very much underwater. You would have to stab with hammers instead. So they would more likely have a machine that does this or this on its own. It would make it a lot easier to actually no, because you'll be underwater. So the heat would just dissipate immediately. How do you forge things underwater? It needs to happen in a vacuum. That's how. This is sci-fi. We'll be fine. Ooh, I don't know about spark darts, but you could take Dire Shark quills. And use them as spears or something. But forging equipment, something left over from an explosion, making things out of this metal. Maybe you find a weapon that would, maybe not a weapon, but something else made out of this like super thick metal. Could be a shield. Could be a shield. Maybe not a makeshift shield, but an actual one. A shield crafted for use underwater that like folds into your arm. Folding shield. Call that good for the first one. Second would be, what other fights do they have? They have the chase. The chase would be next. Let's see. Pressures. I see, because pressure, I forgot what the equation is, but pressure and pressure heats things up. No, it cools them down. Yes, expanding things heat up. That's what it is. No, expanding things... What am I doing? Expanding things cool down. Because they take in energy to expand and break apart. I don't know. AB1's arm, though, brilliant. What the heck does it do? I don't know. Maybe it's a laser cutter. Maybe it's a club. Whack. We'll stick with a laser cutter for now. I think that being the only loot they have would be okay, though. Let's do another one. The last one would be combat with AB. Happens in a warehouse, right? Yeah. But the AB2 fight... AB2's weapons. Tech spear or something. So, laser cutter. Unsuccessful psychic communication / attunement that allows them to summon but not control sharks. Ha. Yeah, I'm not gonna be that mean. I want to give them something that they think will be valuable. I know my players, like, finding something that can... not my players, but a lot of players that I've DM'd or GM'd for would think that summoning something but not being able to control it is a waste of time. Creatively thinking players, however, brilliant. Ah. Nope. I'm not getting the joke. And if you explain it, the joke's ruined. I apologize. My brain is starting to fry. I do think, because of that, I think we're going to call it good for today. I feel excellent about where this adventure is. Maybe, before we quit for today, I need a name for this thing. What is the adventure going to be called? We know what the adventure does. The world it's on is called Ushtarake. The big enemy is Tidal Incorporated. Let's see. Keeping things afloat is their slogan, maybe. Stalancor is the city. The aesthetic of the city is several balloon-looking things, just giant and with cities inside. There's electric pulses, maybe. I'm thinking of a sort of, maybe an intro where they see an electric leviathan swim over the cities, and it zaps the cities in several places, but it actually, like, takes in that power and uses it to power their equipment in the cities, keep the lights on. Fighting against the tide. Gives away the... Yeah, it does give away the twist. No, not communism. This is, well, maybe, since merchants are ruling the government. Let's see. We're not gonna go full Russia themes, though. That would be poor form. Anchors, maybe. Maybe something about the families. Maybe something about Aquaborg. Maybe an experiment. Something in the title should be... Yeah, if it's about the experiment, it's pretty clear what's happening in the beginning. Tides of Chaos is a TTRPG that I follow, so we're not going to do that. Anchors Away also gives away the twist. Secrets of the... Almost feels like a spy movie because of the subterfuge that is going on. It's not necessarily like stalking your enemies and whatnot and surveilling things, but you are trying to solve the mystery, and there is a military involved. Maybe there's something there for naming. Where are we gonna go with this? Beneath the Tides. I do like Beneath the Tides. I'll write that down. Water and nope. I don't know. I'm going to have to think of another name later. This is something will come to me, I'm sure. But right now, my brain is gone. And I have a call with a producer momentarily. So I'm going to have to say goodbye and good night, depending on what time zone you're in. I thank all of you for joining, especially Steven from Rules and Rulings. Speaking of Steven from Rules and Rulings, I'm going to put your channel in the chat because your stuff is fantastic ever since I've been watching it. Rules and Rulings. There we go. Classic stuff. And some classic and very recognizable art as well. So go check out Rules and Rulings on YouTube, links in the live chat. And for everyone else, I will see you around. Keep an eye out, as always, for more updates for sagas. If you are not signed up already, the link in the description will take you to the quick sign up page. All it really needs is your email, so I can send you emails with updates on the system and free wallpapers that I've been giving out. And you know, the story of Dr. Giveaway, who is now in therapy because he's realizing that giving away free stuff isn't a great weapon. Go check out sagas, hop on the mailing list for updates, and I will keep you updated when that beta test is going to come out so you can give it a try. Maybe run this adventure for yourself. This will probably be coming out with the game when it does. So again, thank you everybody. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day, and remember, everything is going to be okay.